Welcome to the regular Menthol podcast where we discuss Keynote movies. My name is Tate and my co-host here is Chris.
Hi.
Gee whiz, we give our thoughts on the movie. We discuss specific scenes that we liked, followed up with our very own Keynote rating. Today we're discussing the 2006 film Apocalypto, directed by Uncle Mel, starring Rudy Youngblood and Raul Max Trujillo.
Yeah,
no, I can't pronounce that.
Correct. Yeah, this is it. This is the movie.
King, here we are. Another week, another powerful week has gone by, and it just seems like time is just flying by. I don't know. I can't even
Flat circle.
Understand what's going on anymore. Yeah, I feel like I'm in my reincarnation life now.
We're about to go to war. What I hear.
What? Get your war face on, bud.
Get your war face. No, I just Twitter is like popping off. It's like we're going to war with Iran or something. I don't know the geopolitics of this world, but interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't know. You know what's funny, dude?
2 more weeks.
Exactly.
2 more weeks.
Every time I go online, there's something where they're like, ships are amassing in the Middle East.
Air Force is already out on its way. Yep, to the Middle East.
I'm tracking the planes. They're flying over right now.
Something big's happening. Something big.
Yeah, show me your war face, bud. Show me your war face.
No, so my kid is sick. So I take her to
that sucks.
Yeah, take her to that's not big, just common cold. So my wife makes me take her to the doctor. She's like, we just have to make sure because we're going to Disney or whatever. So anyway, I take her and I'm like, if you do good at the doctors, we'll go to Burger King afterwards because we're collecting. They had the toy at Burger King is the Ninja Turtles. So the past week she's on this like Ninja Turtles kick, which I love because everything's like princess all the time, And guess who her favorite is? Michelangelo. Of all 4 of them.
Sam Rockwell.
So anyway, we got all 4 of them, or all 3 out of the 4, except for Donatello, because this one's like badass. He has like this staff and his hand spins around or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm in this crusade to find this Donatello. So I'm like, all right, they have to have one at this location. I didn't call ahead or anything. They're probably gonna be like, not even gonna pick up the phone. It's Burger King. So anyway, I pull up the drive-thru, like, do you want to donate $1? I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. This is gonna be good karma. I'm gonna get this Donatello. Pull up to the drive-thru. This chick's like probably 20-some years old. I'm like, hey, by any chance, I was like, before she even gives me the kids meal, I'm like, any chance you have a Donatello back there? And she just gives me this blank stare. I'm like, the purple one? And this chick she goes, we only have the green one.
You're
Bro,
like,
I just stare at her for like, I give her the blank stare back, right? The rebuttal. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're all green.
What you talking about?
What you talking about
there?
So I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, no, I know they're all green, but I need the one with the purple mask. And she's just like, all right, and blank stare. I'm like, do you mind just checking real quick? I'm like, we're collecting all 4. I'm 1 shy. Could you just look? Sure. So she like reaches into the kids' meal, pulls out a Leonardo. I'm like, I'm just, at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to count my losses.
Whatever.
I'm like, that's the only one you have, right? And she goes, yeah. I'm like, put it back in the fucking bag, dude. Please, so I can get out of here. So sure enough, I pull off. With a kid's meal, you get all these different things for it. When I ordered a applesauce and they give me fries with it. As soon as I get home and check it, I'm like, why am I not surprised?
Excuse me? Wait, what did you just say? You ordered applesauce.
I ordered applesauce and they gave me fries.
What does that even mean? What? I don't even understand what that means. You ordered applesauce.
They screwed up the order.
And they're like,
let me just throw in fries.
Just throw in a bag of fries.
Unbelievable stuff, man. We're cooked, man. We're cooked.
That's not even close to being the same. I think I might have a Donatello at my house. I'm going to look next time.
If we do go to war, man, we are effectively cooked. That's all. That's the point of my story, I guess. But anyhow.
You mean like, no, we won't have any, all the people who are playing will be Zoomers?
For sure.
And they'll be yelling on the battlefield, like,
taking selfies.
Camper! You camper!
Legit, though. Anyway, let's get into this movie. What's going on with you, man? I didn't ask. My bad.
Nothing.
Love it.
I mean, there's nothing going on, dude. I don't know. My leg just randomly, like, lit today. My leg just hurts, and I'm just like, oh my god! It goes like 3 weeks with no issues, and then all of a sudden, my leg starts getting not hurting, but numb.
Yeah. Dude,
great.
I've been noticing this, man. I've been noticing as I get older, you just really turn into Unk. You just don't get that recovery that you once did.
I think it's time, dude. I think it's time.
Blasting roids?
I think so.
Sign me up.
I think I got to get on.
I think I need it too at this point. Anyway, tell me about this movie.
A Mayan hunter named Jaguar Paw leaves his wife and child in a giant hole in order to avoid detection from a neighboring tribe's raid. After Jaguar Paw is shackled and brought to be sacrificed, he has to use his wits to escape, avoid detection, and race against time in order to save his wife and child.
Nice. Very nice.
I mean, dude, think about this for a second. You have Mel Gibson coming off a really big win.
Big win. Epic win.
I guess self-financing The Passion of the Christ, and
Correct.
It makes $1 billion or something because every Christian went to see it.
Correct.
And then he comes right off that and he goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a movie about the Mayans.
Literally.
What do you think's going on in this guy's head?
I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy. It's not the thing you'd expect next, but I know that this movie is based on the Mayan version of the Bible. So I don't know if there's any.
Really?
I know he's a big Christian, Uncle Mel. Anyhow,
yeah,
it's right after Passion of the Christ, so I could be so bold and, dare I say, Uncle Mel's trying to come up with something original against the Hollywood formula.
Wow, think about that.
The big question here is, did they finance this movie? Did the studios finance, or was this another him project?
Well,
I'm not sure about that, actually.
It's an interesting thing you bring up, an original idea.
Imagine that.
Because this is a very original movie, I would say, because you're kind of expecting one thing. I don't know about you, but you think about Braveheart, you think about The Patriot, you think about Mel Gibson movies, and he does The Passion of the Christ. You're like, well, I'm familiar with the Jesus story.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I need another movie about Jesus?
Right.
But he kills it with that. And then you kind of don't know what to expect with this movie. That's at least my take on my memory of going into this.
I mean, you think you might get the Spanish Inquisition, if anything else, the conquistadors, if anything, but you get this insanity that but it's a great movie. I mean, point out this movie rules. It's like 2 hours of nonstop action, and one thing just happens after another. Locations are beautiful, change on a dime. You do see some CGI in here. It's jumping into the freaking, what is it? The waterfall.
The water, yeah.
It's, but I mean, it's jumping into a waterfall. But, no, I mean, it keeps you interested the whole time, which I can appreciate. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie. Well, it's kind of morbid and gory, but it's a good movie. That's
adrenaline.
100%.
You're on the edge of your seat the whole time, for sure.
Yeah, casting also, I want to point out, is very good in this movie. A lot of the extras were actual local people, indigenous people, not actors. And I want to point out that Rudy Youngblood, the lead, is perfect in this movie. I don't know how you feel about this dude. I don't know that he does anything else like crazy big, but for this character, this guy absolutely smashes it. Ideal lead for the movie, and you're pulling for this guy the whole time. No question about it.
Yeah, and why is that? My kind of explanation for what you just said would be that his face looks like kind of a tough, rugged dude, except innocent looking.
Yeah.
Kind of childlike, but a man with like a childlike face. So he's going to be a good guy. You kind of pull for him, and he's the good guy.
Yeah.
And it's the complete opposite with the dudes chasing him.
Yeah.
They're all way more kind of rugged and gnarly looking. And you'd be like, well,
he's the baby face, dog.
Exactly. Good way of putting it. He is a baby face. The other guy's definitely heels, and it looks that way in the actual character, the actors' faces.
Yeah. Remember the first time watching this thing?
Yeah. So basically, I remember watching it in my living room with my mom and dad, and it came out on DVD, which isn't really impressive because I say that every week. there wasn't really any nostalgia, except for the fact that I remember the climate that was going on when it came out. If you remember, Mel Gibson, like, he was a controversial figure just because he made this movie, The Passion of the Christ, right?
Yeah, they didn't like that. Why?
I don't know. I guess maybe
Why was
they're
it
just
so
tired of
controversial?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was historic, biblically accurate. We'll leave it at that, I guess.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
So I remember that, and then if you remember, Mel, he gets in a little trouble, getting a DUI.
Oh boy,
saying a couple naughty things.
Oh, Mel,
when he got arrested. So by the time when that all happened, a couple months before this came out.
Yeah.
So when this comes out, everyone's like, "Oh, this is a film by Mel Gibson, the maniac, the crazy person." That's what my memory is, because I distinctly remember that going on, and I was like, "That's the climate when this came out." And another thing was, oh, I liked Braveheart. Here's another kind of period piece, action-y film. Although I don't know I can't tell from the trailers or anything what this is going to be.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of all in though.
I do love his return to Hollywood when they unbanned him, and he came back, probably like 10 years ago, and he just comes back
him
with this freaking like beard with like this white stripe, this skunk stripe beard, and he just looks completely insane. I guess he did the movie where he's Mark Wahlberg's dad and Will Ferrell's in it. I can't remember the name of it, but it's just like he just comes back as like this psycho, and it just works.
That is wild that they unbanned him.
Yeah.
It's like they banned him for a couple years, and then he comes back and you're like, "Oh, damn, dude, Mel Gibson's got a movie." Mel Gibson's back, because Passion and this movie were kind of financially successful, very successful.
Oh, absolutely.
Movies. So the fact that they were just able to go, "Hey, let's ban this dude," is kind of wild.
Yeah. Well,
it's not all about the money.
It's not all about the money, for sure. Yeah, I don't recall the first time I saw it. It was definitely close to when it came out, because this is 2006 and I'm graduating high school 2005, and I was a history major my first year in college, and I was like big into this period. I'm like, all right, yeah, this movie's gonna slap. So I don't know if I saw it in theaters or not, but it was like right around when it came out. But not disappointed. I was all into it, because I know that whole being Spanish, that whole Spanish history of it with the Mayans and like Tenochtitlan and all that shit. So big into it. Literally me character. Who you got?
Well, I mean, we don't even have to say it, dude. We're the conquistadors coming in off the boat. That's what we are.
The conquistador chads.
The conquistadors that took it was like on screen for 5 seconds.
Literally. I guess I would be Jaguar Paw's dad, who gets like his throat cut.
Yeah.
Because I'm Unk at this point, bro. I'm just old head Unk. That dude's he's probably like my age. That dude just looks mad older.
That's an alarming thing, right? Like, I don't feel old,
but we are.
I don't necessarily think I look old, but I guess I am aging, and I am Unk.
You hate to see it, as the kids say, Unk. Anyway, some fun facts. Mel Gibson claimed that Rudy Youngblood, the lead, was genuinely running from the Jaguar in the chase scene, which is only kept from him by a tether. Gibson added, "You can't train a Jaguar." Let's think about this dude directing on set. Absolute madness.
You just putting your faith in this guy, this maniac, Mel Gibson. He's like, dude, don't worry about it. We got this Jaguar on a tether. Like, you're good. Like, okay. If you look at that scene when he's running from the Jaguar, he looks genuinely terrified.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's definitely a live Jaguar. But I didn't really read into it, but I don't think there were any casualties on set, unlike like a Werner Herzog movie with Klaus Kinski, where they're just like killing locals and shit. Anyway, during filming, severe flooding in southern Mexico displaced at least 1 million people. The crew helped with flood relief. Good on you, Uncle Mel. Good on you. Very nice. At about the 1 hour and 3 minute mark, there's an old man with laughing sickness. This refers to the disease called Kuru, a brain illness caused by eating human brains contaminated with prions. Thoughts on that?
Okay. I have a couple thoughts. No, if you're familiar, it's like mad cow disease.
Yeah, yep.
But the reason I know what this is because there's a conspiracy in 2016 in the election that Hillary Clinton had Kuru.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I never heard of this one.
There was these weird clips of her kind of like tilting
head
back and laughing.
I've seen those for sure.
And there's another clip of her where she kind of like passes out and her security just like picks her up and like launches her into a back of a van.
Yep, I remember
and
that.
You're like, what happened here? But people were saying she has Kuru because
she must have eaten brains, right?
It was because of like Pizzagate stuff where she was like eating people or something, cannibalism, and you're like, oh, that sounds kind of crazy. Or does it? Or does it?
The teaser trailer for the film has an almost entirely different cast than the one that ends up in the film, which I thought was kind of weird. So it's like, launch this thing out. Let me just put all new characters. They probably shot it well ahead of time. And
that's wild.
Apocalypto was the last R-rated movie released under the Walt Disney banner. Did not know that one. I didn't even know it was a Disney movie.
You know, we never really talked that much about movie ratings on this podcast. And am I crazy, or did they just stop making R-rated movies altogether?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't make superhero movies R-rated. They tried it with Deadpool. It worked, but they were like, back to drawing board. We need kids to boost profits. Aside from that, you had these stupid like A-list actor movies where I don't even know, dude. Yeah, and then to your point, anything that's good, not really.
Wasn't it like in the 80s and the 90s, it would be like, it's rated R, and you needed a parent to take you, and it was like, those were cool movies.
Yep.
And whether they were good or not, who knows, but
I hear
it's just like, I don't know what happened to R-rated movies, but I feel like I haven't seen one in quite some time. I don't know.
I just didn't know this was a Disney movie. I mean, I'm going down to Disney in a week. I'm gonna be like, hey, where's your Apocalypto?
Where's your
Apocalypto ride?
Where's the Apocalypto set?
You go down. The train takes you all the way up to the top of the freaking pyramid. And you fall down it. Get your head cut off.
You get your head cut off?
Anyway, let's get into some of these Keynote scenes. What do you got?
Right from the beginning here, we see them chasing this boar through the jungle to kill it and eat it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, damn, dude, these guys are living good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I sit at a desk all day. I'm probably ruining my back.
Yeah.
Just staring into a screen. And I'm like, I think I'd much rather be out, it's a little bit dangerous, but I'd rather be out chasing animals to kill in the jungle than staring at a screen all day. I could be crazy. I don't know. What do you think on this? Your take?
On a long enough timeline, I agree. It's like, it's just the same perpetual boredom. It's like, all right, you have a nice cush life. But would it be more exciting if you were out hunting boar with man-made traps? Perhaps. Well, you can also just go out and hunt boar, but shoot rifle. Or, shoot a bow and arrow. Yeah, no, it's for sure. Yeah, I hear you. A little bit dangerous, because then you have all kinds of diseases and shit. Got Spanish conquistadors coming in and giving you smallpox.
Well, that's true, but you don't really know. See, we're looking at that kind of from the perspective of someone who has YouTube and can watch YouTube videos all day about police cam videos and whatnot. So we don't exactly, we had this vision of our own lives of like, this is what's normal and everything. But back then, if you were just living in this jungle, you wouldn't have any idea that any of these kind of creature comforts exist. Right. But what really puts it together for me, where I second guess whether this is the real lifestyle or not, is like they're bullying this guy, right? In the tribe.
Yeah.
And it's nonstop. And it looks like he's just able to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
Because he knows he's part of the tribe. He's just one of the boys. Yeah, they're messing with him, but he's tight with these guys. He's gone on hunts and everything. He's part of this community.
Oh, boy.
If he was outside the tribe or whatever, just some new guy, he'd take the lighthearted bullying personally because he has to show his respect or whatever. And he also has a hot wife
Mhm.
Contrast that with today. There's no community whatsoever in this country. Therefore, everyone's isolated and everyone takes everything personally.
Social media.
There's no, exactly, social media.
These guys didn't have social media. That's why.
Yeah.
Case in point. No, but I like how this movie opens up with an action scene. It's like immediately fleshes out these characters, though. Like you said, they're bullying him, and it's like they make him eat the balls or whatever, and they're like breaking his balls, no pun intended. And then I don't know what they put on his genitalia, but like he comes out and it's like on fire, and then he sits down in the trough to cool him off, right? And he's like, the whole village is looking at him, but then he just starts laughing about it because he's like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's a big joke. So, where again, like you said, doesn't take it personal, but it's cool to think that even ancient people that this far back would banter and talk shit with one another. Kind of cool.
For sure. And, I kind of just, I don't know. I feel like I don't have any community whatsoever. And it's like, dude, I'm watching this now. And instead of watching the latest episode of Seinfeld or The Big Game, they don't have TVs back then. So the whole community gathers around a big fire and listens to the elder tell stories.
Yeah, dude.
And gee whiz,
Respect.
I don't know. That seems way better to me than what we have now.
Well, it's exponentially better. No, it's exponentially better. It's just as time goes on, you get these comforts, like you said, and it's like you have a phone and all this stuff at like access to it at all. What do you think's going to happen to community? It gets destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
People don't care. I do like the fact that the chick's mom pushes him into the hut to have sex with her daughter so she can have grandkids. It's just like, he's like, no, she's still out there. It's like, no, she's gone. It's like, I love it. Great.
Well, priorities are different back then.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. He's got to pump out like 5 kids for sure.
Right?
Yep.
He's trying to put work in, have a kid again or whatever.
Yeah. Got to expand the tribe. My boy.
Okay, so the other tribe attacks now, and 2 things stand out. First, this is kind of crazy, but I think to myself, if we ban guns in this country, as some people want to do, will we just go back to killing each other with spears and clubs? I don't know how you feel about it. This is what I think about when I hear people talk about banning guns, is I think to myself, well, how about this scene from Apocalypto where another tribe
just walks
is attacking,
takes over their town?
Yeah, they're literally doing club combat.
Yeah.
Like, I said, well, okay, we'll just go back to beating each other to death then.
Yeah, I mean,
or stabbing each other.
If people want to kill each other, harm each other, they're going to do it by any means necessary. So banning guns, it's like, don't they ban guns in Europe and they just stab people? They get a little stabby over there. Hey, they just get a little bit stabby over there. That's all. So yeah, I mean, it's any means necessary, man. People find a way. They want to kill them.
Okay, so then second, I noticed that the homie Jaguar Paw, he's gonna save his dad because his dad's about to get clubbed in the head.
Yeah,
and he does the most wicked Goldberg spear on this guy, and I was kind of taken aback by it when I was watching this.
Yes,
because you're watching these dudes swing clubs at each other and everything, and all of a sudden it just cuts and this guy is flying across the screen, and you're just like,
there are a lot of crazy cuts where it's just like a lot of action and it just cuts too, and it's just kind of some wild camera angles, some very early 2000s camera angles, if that makes any sense. But now the Goldberg spear is epic. I think even cooler was he throws his club at Middle Eye's club to knock it out of his hand.
Yeah.
And even further point out that the leader of this tribe, this attacking tribe, Zero Wolf, rolls up with this sick headpiece. And I was talking about great casting. This is the guy. This is the dude. I don't know how old this dude is, like in this filming, but he looks old, but he looks kind of yoked.
Yes, the perfect casting. You're correct. Because they needed a guy that looks naturally big.
Yeah. That dude's like
old.
6'2", 6'3". A Mayan.
He looks like he's in his 50s or something.
Yeah.
Right? But still kind of pretty cut and pretty jacked.
Yep.
the perfect physique, the perfect face, the perfect age.
Yeah.
Perfect casting.
Perfect casting. Also want to point out here, I don't know if you know your history, but this was a regular thing for the Mayans. You had Tenochtitlan, which I mentioned earlier, was by far the largest city in Mexico. They would send these raiders out to collect smaller tribes around. So they were like Tenochtitlan, there was Cuauhtémoc, I believe it was called, Tabasco, and they were kind of sub-cities to Tenochtitlan, which is where Moctezuma kind of reigned over. But they would have these other guys come down to these smaller towns throughout, and they would just take these people for sacrifice on a regular basis. So it's no surprise when the Spaniards showed up with 600, close to 1,000 people total. This was why Hernan Cortez was successful, why he was a genius. He's like, I'm just going to use these people against them. So what did he do? He just gathered all these smaller tribes up, had them fight against Tenochtitlan and that whole crew. And he ended up killing, I think, 200,000 people in total. And it's like, genius. I'll just use their own people against them because he learned of this whole strife that they have. It's like, done. But yeah, my point is this is a very accurate film from the historical standpoint. I mean, if Uncle Mel's doing it, he's probably gonna get it right. But I don't think that the one thing I want to point out was I don't think they take them to Tenochtitlan when they sacrifice them. It looks like a much smaller town because that town was hundreds of thousands of people. This was much, much smaller. But yeah, I just think that was pretty cool. That's a little history lesson. I'll shut up now. But Jaguar Paw, moving forward, leaves his pregnant wife and son in the pit just to help all his other tribe. I have to ask you, good business decision here? I mean, you doing that?
Dude, we have notes for the show, and I'm reading this the other day, and I just started bursting out laughing because you said good business decision.
It's like, she's, stay here, come help us. He's like, no, I have to help the others. I'll come back, I promise. Dog, I'm jumping in there with them. I'm waiting for these people to leave. That is not a good business decision in my book.
I guess you're right. I was thinking to myself, what if he just, instead of jumping in this hole, he just took his family and ran another 100 yards? Well, 5 dudes or something, wasn't it? I mean, he doesn't know that, but
yeah, it
sets up the whole plot of, this is me nitpicking.
No.
What would I do?
The plot has to happen.
The only thing I would say is that I think his dad was still alive. So he was probably well.
Oh, yeah, good point. He does go back to try and save him. That's when Middle Eye cuts his dad's throat in front of him. We'll get into a little more of that guy. He's completely insane. But yeah, so he cuts the dad's throat, and he cuts it with obsidian. Are you familiar with obsidian?
Oh, yeah.
What that
Absolutely.
is? Volcanic rock. Bro, do you know how durable and strong this shit is and how sharp that you could make this?
I don't know if this is still the case, but one of the things I heard is that they make scalpels out of obsidian.
Really?
Because it's extremely sharp.
Did not know that.
A really thin piece of obsidian. I could be completely talking out of my ass, but that's something I heard when I was little growing up, is that, obsidian's so sharp. Obsidian knife, kind of awesome though.
Well, you have to take a bigger rock and just smash chunks out of it and get the right angle.
Yeah.
Ever see videos on dudes doing that with arrowheads and shit? It's kind of awesome.
Oh yeah.
They have a technique where you can get it just right, cutting it.
You hit it at an angle.
Yeah, dude, it's
and you
wild.
Shave the rock off.
Absolutely gnarly.
And it creates these extremely sharp edges.
Oh yeah. Kind of a terrifying scene here. I pointed out that when the kids are at the edge of the water on the river alone and they're watching the parents being herded off, it's like, now what? You think about that. That youngest kid's probably 6, 7 years old, and then she has to take care of that entire group of children. It's like you're walking back and anything in that jungle can just annihilate that entire group of kids at any point.
Someone's got to step up. One of these kids has got to step up and just take over. It's funny you bring that up, though, because at the end of the movie, when he goes back to the area, it's like, where are any of those kids?
They're eaten.
They're not there.
They got eaten.
They got eaten by that jaguar.
Yeah, dude. That's just not kind of gnarly, but it just goes to show you how things were back then, man. It's pretty wild.
Well, we discussed this gentleman, Middle Eye, and
yeah, dude, he's the guy.
He's the one that's looking over Jaguar Paw. Basically, it's his prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a sadistic guy. Despite the fact that Jaguar Paw kind of beat him up in combat.
Yeah.
One, it takes out all his anger on Paul after he's captured, and he's got to get over by being sadistic because he wants himself to be one way, but he's just not in reality.
Yeah.
He wants to be that guy. He wants to be Zero Wolf.
He wants to be the main character.
He's not though.
Mm-mm.
And so he copes and seeds by just being a sadistic human being.
Facts.
You know anyone like this who's like a toady to a bully?
Yeah.
Any of these guys in high school?
I can think of a few. Yep. Now that you mention that, I can think of a few where it's just, and I would just be like in situations and altercations, even amongst other people, I'm like looking at this dude. It's like, bro, shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
I know who you are, dude. Calm down. You're not him. That's for sure.
You're not him.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
And so just as a scene later, and Zero Wolf comes up and kind of is on the same page as us, what we're saying here, because Middle Eye launches this guy that's struggling just off a cliff because he's holding him down, and Zero Wolf mogs him, walks up to him and basically just frame mogs him really bad and challenges him. Like, he pulls out his knife and he's like,
let's do it your way. Yeah. Maybe we should follow your orders.
And the Middle Eye just backs down. Many such cases. Kind of incredible. There's a little animosity between the two. Yeah.
This guy's attitude, his body language, more specifically, you always mention facial expressions are absolute keynote. He's certainly the best as far as facial expressions, reactionary acting, the best in the film. No question about that. But
he generates great heel heat. You're right.
100%, bro. He has this, I don't even know how to describe it, but he's not interested, kind of hunched over. And he's like, he just has to go with the flow. And then when he has an opportunity, like you said, to be sadistic and just a shit, he takes that opportunity. But he has that, and you mentioned about if you know that kind of guy, he's that kind of guy who holds on to a grudge and just doesn't shut up about it. So that's why he wants to kill Jaguar Paw through the whole movie. It's like, bro, calm down. He beats you in a fight. But yes, getting back to casting, nailed it with this guy. He absolutely kills it. Love it. Also, kind of a wild scene here where they pass through the village with a sick girl, right? They're all pushing her away so no one catches the disease. And even though there were a bunch of diseases during this time, which is, kind of wild that Cortez's group of conquistadors never contracted anything, because it's also, I just want to point out that it's assumed that they have smallpox here, this little girl.
Mm-hmm.
But Cortez and the Spaniards brought smallpox. So the end of the movie showing where they're all coming ashore, it presumes that they're the first conquistadors coming ashore. How could that little girl have smallpox?
Wait a second. What is Mel Gibson trying to
plot hole.
He's saying this is all fake news. The conquistadors never did this. It was already there.
Yeah, man. I just thought that was kind of, but it's getting the point across. But like I said, I mentioned it earlier with the soldiers and 1,000 soldiers against the 200,000 Mayans. The disease would have effectively taken them out in a week, right? But sure enough, oh my gosh, dude! Some of them did die of disease. I recall reading, but it's just kind of, there were other diseases. What I'm saying, that were alien to them, which is shocking that they just got lucky, so to speak, and history kind of worked itself out that those guys should have died theoretically, right away. Is my point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think I do recall that smallpox killed roughly 80% of the indigenous people in the area at the time, which is even kind of more wild.
That is insane.
Yeah. So
80% is a wild number, dog.
Yeah. Yep. But
Jesus.
Yeah, dude, it's just getting back to the point of Moctezuma. Cortez was only in, I think it was May of 1592 or something like that. I don't know my dates like that, but he was there for a little over a year, right? Cortez, with no reinforcements whatsoever. They had 600 guys, soldiers. I think it was close to 1,000 with like seamen and other type of, missionaries and shit. And yeah, there were never any, there's no documentation of any reinforcements. So the point being, getting to my plot hole point, going around the barn, is that couldn't have happened. That little girl could not have smallpox. So end of story. Plot hole.
Maybe she had AIDS. So they reach the city and it starts getting weird, I would say. Imagine being one of these guys tied up to this piece of bamboo, right? And all these people start coming out with blue paint. They're like, oh shit, here we go. Here come the people with the blue paint.
Here we go again.
They're turning us blue.
Mm-hmm.
And you have no concept of what's going on. You got to be like, dude, something weird's going down now.
Yeah.
They're coming out with the blue paint. Oh, shit.
I have to ask you, what's going through your mind if you're one of these dudes? I mean, you see these sacrifices happening right in front of you. Like, what are you doing in this situation?
Okay. I'm glad you asked. Because what I was thinking was they're cutting the guy's handcuffs off when they got to the top.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right before I'm like, hey, why doesn't one of you, I don't know, run away?
Yeah.
When you get those things, because they grab you and everything and they hold you down and whatnot. I'm like, dude, as soon as they cut the handcuffs off, you got to make a break for it and roundhouse kick one of these guys, throw them off. I don't know. Maybe I'm watching too many action movies, but I think all those guys up there look cracked out. I think you could kind of surprise them.
Well, he does say, the guy sacrificing them, he says, willing soldier, or willing whatever, willing to die, right, for the gods. So I think these guys are half confused, like, okay, maybe it's my time to die, or they're accepting of it. But obviously Jaguar Paul's like, nah, dude, I'm out. I can't die here. I got too much shit to do, bro. I got my list. I got things to do. But yeah, I mean,
they said willing.
Well, yeah, but the point is I don't really know.
The guy's face is like, bro, what are you talking about? Willing?
What you talking about? Now,
what you talking about?
There's really nothing you can do, dude, because you think about that. These people are all down there, 100,000 people worshiping this guy, sacrificing them, the king up there. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to run down this giant set of stairs? You're going to kickflip off these stairs and then start running? They're just going to tackle you and hold you down. And then the death's probably going to be way worse. So you might be cooked, is my point.
Well, I think you got to give it a try. A good college try.
100%. I would at least try it. You're right.
But the thing is, all the people in the city, as you get closer to the pyramid, they've completely lost their humanity. There's all this religious fanaticism going on and the importance of commerce.
Yeah. Yep.
Selling slaves and whatnot. They also look like they're on drugs. I don't know if you caught that. Like, don't smoke crack, kids. Don't do that.
What would that be? What would that drug be back then? I can't remember. I don't know about drugs like that, but what's the shit they smoke? It's like
I don't know.
Besides marijuana? It's like peyote or some shit?
Some kind of hallucinogens it looks like they're on.
Yeah.
The guy at the top of the pyramid is inhaling some kind of vapors, and he definitely looks like he's on another dimension.
Yes. Yes,
it's like, what's going on here? Are they taking drugs, talking to demons or something? Ooh. Sacrificing people to appease some gods, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you think to yourself, oh, these are all primitive people. They don't understand. They're just coming up with this goofy things to explain stuff. And then you're like, oh, wait a second. That's going on right now, too.
Oh, boy.
It's going on right now. It's been revealed. It's actually the same things are going on literally right now. And nothing's changed, dog.
Oh, man. Where are we at with that, by the way? 2 more weeks?
2 more weeks, basically, yeah. They're going to start arresting people 2 more weeks from now.
2 more weeks.
They need 2 more weeks to investigate.
2 more weeks to flatten the curve, 2 more weeks to bring people to justice. You love to see it. Or no, but I do want to mention though that you kind of see normies waking up with this whole thing. I've noticed a considerable amount of normies who are like, okay, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, but what are they going to do?
Nothing.
They're just going to watch the big game. They're going to go right back to paying taxes, you know? Me too. So am I. You know?
I hate to see it.
So yeah, let's talk about the leader, Zero Wolf. One thing I noticed, they get up to the top of the pyramid and he kind of just looks completely unfazed by all of this.
Yes. Yep.
Almost in a way of like kind of annoyed.
Caught that.
Basically, this guy is the top dog, Chad, who's just doing this for the money.
He's the only guy over 6 feet. He's the only Mayan in existence over 6 feet tall.
And in this city of kind of drugged out, crazy people, they're all skinny looking. And this guy's just jacked.
Yeah.
And he represents the strongest of men who aren't really strong enough to truly lead. So he does the next best thing and just kind of is a mercenary type.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking to myself, wait a second. This is a long time ago. And back then, a lot of times, might makes right.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, why isn't this guy running things? You look at the other people on the top of that pyramid, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy's kind of getting annoyed.
Because
when is he going to just start killing these people?
Well, I mean, you talked about religious fanaticism. So once those people, and it's actually kind of funny too. I'm not going to nerd out on like the history side of it, but you know, these people worshipped Moctezuma. But as soon as he took the Spaniards in to Tenochtitlan, which it was a business decision, he was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to compete with these people, because if you really do your research on that, man, it's kind of wild that European steel was so powerful that they would just decimate groups of like 1,000 soldiers. Mayan soldiers would get just decimated by maybe 12 dudes on a horse. They were already scared of the horse, and these were trained horses that could just run people over and kill them, stampede them.
Mm-hmm.
But that coupled with the iron, they had protective gear, and they had these war dogs, which were like insane. It just goes, long story short, Moctezuma has Cortez come in, and the Mayan people were pissed. So effectively, when Cortez turns on Moctezuma, Moctezuma gets out of where he was being held captive, and the people start throwing shit at him like they're ready to kill him. I forget how he died specifically, but the people turned against him. But before that,
Heel turn
for sure. But before that, they worshipped him like he was a god, effectively the next thing under a god. So
yeah,
good luck with, tribal chief Chad over here being able to change 200,000 people's minds and back him up, even if you were to just kill this leader who was not, I believe, to be Moctezuma right in front of him. I don't think that's going to sit well. But who knows? You should give it a try.
Well, that's the one thing I'm not thinking of. You should just give it a try. That's what I'm not thinking of, is the fact that this dude probably has mad soldiers somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if word gets back that he just murdered this leader in this area, yeah, probably they'll send soldiers after him or whatever. But it's only so much kind of weird, drugged out, hippie, goofball stuff I can take before I start getting pissed.
Yeah.
And I start seeing this little fat kid smiling and laughing at people's heads getting cut off. And I'm like, all right, I got to launch every one of these people off the top of this pyramid now.
And he sells it well. And it's really good by Mel to put that in there. It's like, this guy is actually getting pissed and he's just annoyed by this whole charade. And he's like, when can I get the hell out of here? And what do you want me to do with the rest of these captives? So it's like, oh, you want to kill them. So you just, all right, let's just have a game out of it where we had this killing field and now they have to try to get away from us, which I want to point out that you think about, because it's for a movie, how deadly accurate they are with running with these bow and arrows and hitting people in stride, or launching these, what was it, like the rock thing that he had, the slingshot with a rock. That was actually accurate from, a lot of documentation that these motherfuckers were like deadly accurate with these weapons, which is kind of crazy. Anyhow, sorry.
Well, think about it. You don't have TV or YouTube.
Well,
You sit around, practicing all day.
Literally, dude.
And when your food depends on it,
yes,
you're going to get damn good at it,
Another thing, though, speaking of that whole killing field scene, we always talk about practical effects on movie sets. And it's not only wild enough that the people at this temple scene were literally there on set. I mean, it was probably a couple thousand when you actually do the wide pans of it. But these were all local indigenous people. So you think about how insane that must have been to corral these people and get them all focused on set with all this shit going on. Kind of wild. Impressive, though. Like, you think about those old
orchestration.
Yep, those old big movie sets, which, again, you just won't have these days.
But it's outside, it's real, it's in nature.
Yeah.
You got this white powder all over the place from the rocks they're smashing. It's very cool. Impressive sets, dude.
And very colorful and beautiful, I will say, this movie.
Yeah. And, you just mentioned this scene where they get up the pyramid because the eclipse happens and they're like, oh, we don't need the rest of the guys anymore. You can kill them. So they make a game out of it. And it's basically like football. There's 100 yards. And at the end of the 100 yards is the guy's son, Zero Wolf's son, who's got this club.
He's a finisher.
And you have to run 100 yards and they're launching spears and arrows and rocks at you to kill you.
I need me a finisher. Yeah, dude.
So I, watch movies like this and I think to myself, gee whiz, what would I do? How would I do this correctly to survive? Right? So the play is simple. Now, they didn't have football back then. They weren't playing defensive back. But what you do is you start running, right? And let's say, 20 yards out.
Yeah.
You turn around and then you start running backwards. So then you can see the stuff coming.
Right.
They're launching spears at you. You can see it, move the other way, dodge it. And you can tell that you're probably getting halfway down the field. And once you get close enough, you take up one of the spears that missed you. You pick it up off the ground. And then you just run at the finisher guy.
Yeah.
And you kill him by spearing him in the neck.
So Jaguar Paw enacts the only strategy here, which is serpentine, right?
Yep.
As you learn in gaming, you have to do the serpentine technique. It's the only way to get away from these arrows. That's a Rust, the game Rust move right there. And you're 100% right, dude. Yeah, you spin around like a defensive back. And then as you're getting closer to the finisher, because they're not going to be shooting at you when you get close to him for fear of hitting him. You either just fold Goldberg again, like you said, because he just has a club. Or I don't know if he had the knife I think he gave him. Either a knife or a club. Or you just hit him with a monster juke or maybe a spin move and then just zip right into the cornfield, because he wouldn't have gotten hit yet because the Zero Wolf's the one that hits him with that long spear. So you think about that. If he saw that coming, he doesn't get hit with a spear, and he's obviously faster than the rest of these schlubs. So hit him with a power juke, he's out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So
then he's shocked. Oh, we've never had a situation where someone got past me before. What do? Do I run after him? And you use that little shocked period to get away. Maybe throw a little Heisman at him. I don't know.
No, but I do like the idea of, you probably want to grab something I don't know if there was anything else though, because the guys who all just died, they didn't have any weapons on them. But either way, you just hit him with a shoulder check, knock him off his feet, and then just go. That's all.
Just go.
End of story.
Jaguar Paw gets away and he's running. And I'm like, yo, this scene where he's running, because he's all of a sudden he goes up in this tree and there's a jaguar up in the tree, and it cuts to him running from a jaguar. And I'm like, yo, this is wild, dog. His face looks like it's in legitimate, complete terror.
Yeah.
And it's slow-mo. You ever have an animal chasing you like that? You ever had an experience like that?
Can't say I have. I think about it. Never have like a dog maybe barking at me, but never try to attack me. So I guess no. The answer is no. You?
I think I've had dogs run after me, but it was like my friend's dog. So I was just a little kid, so I was scared.
Just turn around and kill him.
I'm not. Yeah.
But I just want to point out here, though, it's like, let's pretend this actually happened, right? Think about the actual endurance needed to cover this ground that he does for the rest of the movie because he runs through the night, dude. And I love this. They have these close-ups of him where it's nighttime and he's leaning against the tree, and then he just sees the fire in like the distance from like their lanterns, and he just turns around and has this look on his face of like, shit, dude, I'm still going. But the point is think about that endurance you have to have, and you're in bare feet running through the jungle.
These guys are cooking,
bro. But they're eating top tier organ meats, all the good shit. they're top tier physique, these guys, to be able to do that. So I just thought it was kind of crazy. And
so something just hit me at one point. I said, wait a second, this movie is turning into the end of Predator.
Yeah, literally.
He dives off the waterfall, right? And then next scene, he's running again. And he goes into this quicksand type stuff. That's this mud. And he takes a deep breath and he goes under and he's sinking, and you have to kind of go slow and wade across it slow. And he comes out and he's just covered with all this mud. And you're like, I know what they're doing here. I've seen this movie before with Arnold.
Plagiarism, Mel. Plagiarism. You're ripping off Predator. No, I mean, this is like the perfect formula for me for an action movie. It's guy being hunted down, right? And he stumbles on ways or crafts ways to take these dudes out one by one. Creative ways. It's like right up my alley for the perfect formula for an action movie. But speaking of the quicksand you mentioned, it's like I remember, this made me recall when I was a kid and I learned about quicksand, and I was terrified that, because I don't know how old I was, but it's like you think that there's quicksand all over. Like you go out into the woods, there's going to be quicksand. Did you ever have this experience when you were a kid? Just being terrified of quicksand? I don't know if it was like in a movie or a show, but I remember vividly being like, dude, quicksand is no joke. You can't be around it. Apparently it's not even that bad.
I haven't thought about it in, let's say, 20 years.
There you go.
But when I was a kid, it was a thing in, I don't know, like shows and cartoons for kids. And it was some kind of plot device where the main character would get caught in quicksand. And he had to kind of get his way out, or like Lassie would be like, oh,
right.
Let me go get like the parents or whatever.
Lassie in the Brazilian
jungle. Never
jungle.
Experienced it, never saw quicksand, never know anyone that actually experienced quicksand at all. I think it was something from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Or even before that.
Yep.
But
agreed, 100%.
I guess it's real. According to this movie, it's a real thing. I don't know.
In actuality, it's not even real. Quicksand doesn't exist in the world. They just made it up. It's just mud.
Paul grabs a beehive. This is a power move. This is what you're talking about, where he has to outwit
creative ways.
Come up with little traps. He grabs a beehive though and launches it at the group. And I'm like, bro, that is wild. Did you ever have an experience where you're surrounded by bees?
Did you notice when he says, before he throws the beehive, he says, a real beehive of activity here, Halberstram? It's hot. This place is hot. No, dude, I go to war every summer. I asked my wife about this. I go to battle every summer on my back deck with not necessarily bees, because I know bees you don't want to kill bees, whatever, but yellow jackets, dude. Yellow jackets. I have them around my house, and dude, I go to fucking battle, man. Yeah, I can't stand them. Anything that stings is an enemy to me. Plain and simple. Can't stand them.
I can't even imagine these bees in this jungle like this, but I've run over bees before with the lawnmower.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I see bugs moving on the ground, and it's a split second where you have that realization, oh shit. And then you run. Like one time I ran down my whole street.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
And
me.
This thing followed me the whole way down the street and stung me when I stopped running.
And you're literally 10,000 times its size, and it still goes after you. That's the crazy part. I'm sure you've watched those videos on YouTube where it's like the guy extracting beehives from people's houses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gnarly. Could never do
Which is great content, by the way.
Absolutely great content for sure.
So Paul's wife is now like, she's in this hole and it's raining with her son. And I think to myself, dude, no way they're going to do this they're going to have her have the baby in the fucking hole.
It's a water birth, bro.
Yeah. And
Right?
that's another thing. I was like, very natural. Holy smokes. But I'm like, dude, I can't believe that they're doing this now. Not only is there the whole danger behind everything that's going on, but they're just adding in like, hey, I got to give birth to this baby now. Yep. I couldn't believe it because she falls down a couple times. And at first I'm thinking, oh, maybe the baby inside is hurt because she kept falling on her ass. Right? It's like, nah, she's just straight up having the baby right now.
Literally.
I'm like, holy smokes. And I can close my eyes and put myself in the year 2006. I'm in my living room and it's me, Fluffy, and my dad watching this movie. And I could tell you 100% in certainty that this right here, this moment in the movie is where Fluffy gets up and walks out of the room. This is too much for her.
It wasn't the decapitations or the cutting out of the hearts. It was
giving birth. In fact, she was not a big fan of that scene.
Yeah.
But she was kind of like, okay, well, this is part of the movie or everything.
Right.
This, they just added in for funsies.
Yeah.
She's just like, all right, I'm out.
Too much for me. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, man, you leave me no choice but to ask the question, is his chick hot? Is JP's chick hot?
Wow, what a powerful question. Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
I guess, what do you do if you're a conquistador? And, you just roll up to this new country and it's a bunch of like Mayans with no clothes on.
That's,
they're
gooners. They were gooners. No question about it.
That was one of the requirements for signing up. It's like, how many hours do you goon a day? Like, we need hardcore gooners for this trip. Otherwise, you're not going to make it.
They're all the ones willing to die for it. But after that, you have this epic boss battle, right, between JP and Middle Eye. And I just can't express enough how much I appreciate this fight, right? It's a boss battle. You're used to these fights being long and drawn out and all this nonsense. At the end of the day, you cut out all that trash. This is simply which guy can get leverage quicker. And Jaguar Paw, he's the faster guy. He gets one clean shot on this dude. There's no, he grabs his foot from under him or whatever, brings him down, like this power struggle. Nah, dude. It's just gets the clean shot on him and then has this epic uppercut with the club. And just, it's so aggressive and fierce. I'm like, this great camera angle too. And it's just it's a quick fight. You expected this. The whole movie was built around this animosity between these two, more so on the side of Middle Eye. But again, dude, it's concise. It's quick. Love it.
Fatality.
That's it.
You watching that scene, you can hear
fatality.
The Mortal Kombat announcer go fatality.
And then, yeah, I mean, at the end here, I have to ask you, is this the most jaw-dropping ending to a movie? It's certainly up there.
You know what, dude? I haven't seen this movie in a while. This might be the third time I've seen this movie in my life. And the last time was 20 years ago.
There you go.
And I remember this ending. And I found it to be extremely random and insane this time.
Yeah.
Like kind of hilarious. Where all of a sudden this guy is finally done running. These two just soldier guys are after him, catch up to him, right? And it's almost like these two guys are like, dude, I don't even want to kill you.
Right. Yep.
It was the big guy that wanted to kill you.
Like, big guy.
I don't even really care at this point. We're so far away from our city, and it's not personal to me, bud.
Yeah, literally.
And it's almost like they had that realization, and they look up, and then they're like, "Whoa, what's going on here? What are these giant boats doing out here?"
Yeah, man.
I was like, this is so random and insane. It's kind of wild, and I like it.
It's random, but I think it's a phenomenal touch because that's exactly what happened. And I think it's so cool that, you see the one tone through the whole movie of these Mayan people, and it's literally the last thing you expect to see. Yeah. And it's powerful because it stops them right in their tracks. You have this blood feud going on through the whole movie. I'm right with you. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, all right, dude, big guy's dead. Yeah, I don't really care. We can go break bread.
I just wanted to catch it.
Right. That's it.
I just wanted to say I could catch it.
Tag you're in. No. But it's a good point. It's like, okay, seemingly you wouldn't care, but now it's assumed that they want to kill him. But the idea is they're stopped in their tracks, and it's like, holy shit, what is going on out here? Like, they've never seen this before. But I think it's such a crazy juxtaposition between what you're seeing in the entire movie, and then they see there, it's like something completely alien. It's like, it would literally be like aliens coming down and landing on the beach.
Yeah.
So I just think it's an awesome touch, man. It's just kind of jaw dropper for me. It's one of the best reveals at the end of a movie.
I always think these two guys kind of ignore Jaguar Paw now. Like, what are these boats? Let's go walk onto the beach. Imagine this. So it shows you the guys come in on like a little rowboat onto the beach. They get on the beach. They meet each other, right? The guys on the beach are speaking in Mayan.
Yeah.
And then the guys in the boat are speaking in Spanish. And they look at each other. They're like, you don't speak Mayan, do you? You don't speak Spanish? And then where do you go from there?
Well, it's a lot of hand gestures, a lot of, you give them presents, you show them things, unless you're in the North Senegal Islands where they just don't let you land.
They kill you, they shoot you with an arrow.
Yeah, dude. Anyway.
It's like, where do you go from there? What do you say? Like, hey, I know you can't hear me, but we got cool shit on our boat. Trust us, dog.
Literally. That's all it was. I mean, just a lot of hand gestures, a lot of showing them, trinkets and stuff that they had, a lot of trading, but
trinkets.
Anyway, Keynote rating, what do you got for this thing?
Well, yeah, I guess I give it an 8. It's a high-paced, adrenaline-fueled action movie, and it just keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time. One thing that I thought of at the end, though, was they're in the jungle this whole time, right? And they kind of show it when this dude launches bees at him, or his wife is using ants to kind of close the wound on her son. Where are the bugs? One thing I learned from the movie Platoon is that in the jungle, there's
bugs.
A shitload of bugs.
There is a scene where
people are zipping around naked without any clothes on. Where are these bugs at?
Yeah, in the jungle. There's a scene where he falls into the dead bodies, the body pit. And there are some, I don't know if they're real bugs, but they look CGI, but there's bugs. Because they had to, because it's just a pile of dead bodies in the sweltering sun. But you raise a great point. Yeah, there would be definitely.
Maybe that's why they're getting sick. It's because they're just launching bodies all over the place.
There you go. That's where the smallpox came from. I agree with you on this one, man. Definitely an 8 for me. Easily one of my favorite period pieces. No question about that. And one thing I want to point out is people hate movies with subtitles, but I think it's way better spoken in the native tongue, and then you read it because it just comes off way clearer, in my opinion. It just looks way better. Like I said before, this is awesome action-packed movie start to finish, even though it's kind of brutal throughout, but it's like a sobering reminder of how shit used to be, and it's, we're just watching it on a screen.
You bring up a great point about these subtitles, but I asked you, what's better, Dragon Ball Z with the American actors or
Man, that's a tough one though. That's a little bit different because
sometimes the dub's better.
I said this on this podcast before. It was like when Dragon Ball Z was huge and I was in middle school. eBay just came out or whatever. It was getting popular, and I ordered the entire Dragon Ball Z, and GT sets, but they were like dubbed or subbed. I guess they were subbed, right? Subtitles. And I thought I was like the coolest because like I have every episode. But I was like, they're kind of the subtitles. But then I justified it because someone was like, yeah, dude, it's more gory in the Japanese versions. I'm like, there's no real gore in Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just think it's better to have the subtitles spoken in like the native language, personally.
A true purist, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, this might be a 60s movie for us. Cool Hand Luke with Paul Newman.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You're familiar with him.
Yeah. Till then. Get you on the next one.